In Vegas, there's winners and losers. And God knows, I've been both. I feel like I swallowed a basketball. A good basketball. It's like peeling the panties off a supermodel. Oh, yes. The pork chop bun. All right, proceed to smoke weed.
Sans détour. Viens voir le fromage.
The font of all wisdom is oozing out of that plate. I would stick a blunt knife in your neck for this cheese.
C'est parfait pour my cholesterol. It's great.
I'm on Lipitor already.
I know.
Are you on Lipitor?
Yeah.
My doctor said, okay, this is the situation. You can change your life or take Lipitor. I said, well, what is required to change my life? Well, no more cheese. J'ai commencé à pleurer.
Il a commencé à pleurer, vraiment.
Comme ça. In fact, this is a shining example to the world why France is a great country.
Right. Like this one is Cabrales, which always was my favorite.
That is like super funky, right?
Cabrales, I love it. I do really love Cabrales.
This is really lovely. This is fantastic. It all depends on how far into the funk zone you go.
Look at this. It's almost like green bluish. It's almost like the sky and the grass are touching each other right on the cheese. I mean, and you know one thing? It's full of penicillin, man. Nobody gets ever sick if you really eat these cheeses.
I feel my syphilis clearing up.
Man! All right, cut!
So voilà, so your first time in Burgundy, Anthony. Hein?
That's my first time.
Tommy, il est un peu français. Il était dans le nord de l'Arcachon.
Pourquoi il parle pas français?
Parce que ma tante a dit que je parle français comme une vache espagnole. What American bands do you hate?
Personally, Creed.
Yes. Yeah. They are like the worst band in the history of like the world.
That is an AK-47 Pinata.
Wow.
So, I mean, this place is in downtown LA. So I try to have as many weapons like hidden throughout. I got ninja swords and ninja stars and stuff.
You need a puppy, man. You need a puppy.
I do need a puppy.
Please, Morrissey, don't eat me. Look in your heart. Don't eat me. Oh, no. Oh, not my head. Oh. Well.
Right? So, City of the Sun.
And you worship Venus, the goddess of love.
They worship Venus.
Probably a lot of boning in that temple.
A lot of boning. Hell of a lot of boning.
There's one thing we never do, you know, it's like sort of anathema on this show. It's go to the home of the original anything. When I pull up at the door here and there's the big sign that says, home of the original soccer torque. Well, that translates generally to Tony, stay away from here. But it's a whole new me now. Now that I'm all about rainbows and unicorns and big fluffy sweaters, I'm going to rethink this and revisit this subject.
So you think you can make this back home when you go back?
No. You just don't see food this ingredients this fresh. For me, you need to eat this outside like this. I like the sound of the motorbikes. I don't want to eat this in a dining room with chairs and a carpet, and you have to come here. I can't believe they trust you with the mugs.
You get two. That's what the €2 is from.
The what?
The €2. You bring that back, you get €2 back. It's $3.80 or $5.80.
Oh, really? I get a rebate?
You get €2 back when you return it, or you can keep it and bring it home.
I get two back? So I could basically go take his, and I could make some money. I'll tell you, just when you think you're dying of heat stroke, exhaustion, jet lag, and dehydration, a bowl of spicy noodles saves the day. Robin Williams ate this. His back hair would burst into flames. See, that's a healthy sweat. Not a, I'm currently dying. Please get me oxygen kind of sweat. That's a, I feel pretty good about the world kind of a sweat.
I think pass finger. Because it's like oozing out, sort of.
Really, that's kind of getting me in the mood.
But it's quite dangerous to grill a Käsekraner because sometimes
it explode.
It explodes.
You wake up in the morning, You know, you're just wearing your pajama top but no bottom. You know, you go over to the stove, you throw a case of grinder into the pan, and you
Exactly
and
like
it
this.
starts like spitting molten cheese at your genitals. Like, come on, you've never cooked bacon while naked? Come on, who hasn't? Am I the only guy? You learn a valuable lesson cooking bacon while naked. You learn to wear an apron. It seems obvious, but.
It just keeps giving me stuff. I don't know what it is. Ooh, glutinous rice, coconut. Feels sort of testicular. You know, in this heat, my stomach shrivels to the size of a chiclet. Or Mick Jagger's penis, according to Keith Richards. I could eat these all day, and I might.
Wow, I desire this. I want this. Unfortunately, I'm not Mick freaking Jagger. Maybe if I start saving now and do that Cialis ad they've been offering and the Imodium and the liver-flavored toothpaste, maybe I could, like, never, ever afford this.
You get to have it all.
The Hadrian Villa at Caesar's Palace. A little pad they give you if your credit line runs into the 8 figures. How did I get it? I told the casino that Wolf Blitzer was coming, that he was expected any minute. I suggested that Wolf might be hungry, and they sent up Guy Savoy. Fortunately, he doesn't watch a lot of television. And I plan to live large till they figure out that Wolf ain't coming. I'll deal with the fallout later. But for now, we live. Bobby Flay probably lives like this all the time.
Yeah, it could go dark, couldn't it? Could get very dark here. I honestly never thought it would have come to this.
Well, it was dunking fries 14 years ago, so.
If I were single and I wasn't a dad, I would totally be into this place. This is kind of how I'd imagine things prior to morphing into Bill Cosby. I have this laundry list of things I want to eat while I'm here.
Do you want to eat scorpion?
I leave that to that bald guy who, what's his name, Zimmerman. He's got a new series, by the way. Bizarre World.
He's expanding.
Oh, he's expanding, all right, to a size 48.
Take, for example, Cajun Mardi Gras. Ordinarily, I loathe the idea of Mardi Gras. Any kind of group celebration, anything festive involving dancing fills me with self-conscious dread. Thousands of happy drunks crowding into the French Quarter, for instance, not for me. But Cajun Mardi Gras is another thing entirely. Closer to the ancient French tradition, vaguely more dangerous, downright medieval. Cajuns do things their way, always have, always will. Whether it's hanging on to the French language of their ancestors, their music, traditions, or food, Cajuns fiercely keep it all vibrantly alive.
Everybody is highly opinionated, as it should be. And nobody's going to agree with anybody, only because way to agree.
Any place where people argue about food is a good place.
Oh, yes.
Did you see that shower head? Did you see that shower head? That thing's a monster. Wow.
Wow, indeed.
Even if this place were free, there's a problem. Right across the bridge, a cooking school for tour groups of Australian and Western foodies. Foodies, if that don't up paradise, I don't know what does.
At the moment, 60, 70 people come through here and do a cooking class every day.
Every day?
Yeah, very popular.
Proximity to foodies, that's kind of a problem. I'll tell you, if I could blow up the bridge, if I could cut off that bridge, it's like Bridge of the River Kwai. You know, I just blow the bridge. There's a couple of big Montagnard guards standing there with AK-47s, like dressed up like the end of Apocalypse Now. I would make this my little Kurtz's compound, only slightly more luxurious and more Danish modern. They could point to him and say, you know, Anthony Bourdain lives over there. His methods have become unsound. It is rumored that he's gone over the edge. No one's seen him for some time since he moved to that island. I do like that shower head, though.
Bread with schmaltz and onion. If you're not Jewish, you probably don't know what that is. Rendered animal fat, my friend, and you might as well call it love, because it's that good. generally speaking.
This guilt keeps coming back. You keep bringing up the guilt.
You're right. I feel guilty.
Then don't do these shows. What are you doing here if you feel so guilty about it?
I don't. I feel guilty about not feeling guilty.
That's more to the point. Now you're
Right.
starting to be honest with yourself.
Right. You know, anytime you get your Chinese, your Brazilians, and your Italians all agreeing on something, it's pretty clear it's a really good idea. Everybody agrees that this complicated-looking creature with all those troublesome shells is worth the work. So you tear off the little limbs. We'll get to you later, my friends. Rip out the tail. These are the lungs. You don't want them. Now you got all this nice fat in there. Oh, yeah. Now we're getting to the claw. Look at that. Let's poke it out of there. Oh, yeah. Push it through that little nubbin of goodness like a celestial nipple. Oh. When people started demanding boneless stuff like chicken without a bone, or crab meat without the actual crab, or lazy lobster, that was the beginning of the erosion of our society as we know it. If you're not willing to work for a payoff like this, how do you expect us to fight Al-Qaeda if you can't suck the meat out of a crab? The character builder and delicious.